What does one say to an ancient Nephilim ghost?
I suppose you start with...
I like you.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. Diablo 3 Season 30 PTR is coming to a close today. I thought I would give my review and thoughts. I've played about 20-22 hours over the course of the last week. Not a massive amount, but it is on the run up to Christmas. I do have a day job and I do have some other bits and bobs going on, and at the end of the day, PTR, we don't get to keep the characters. I will endeavour to try and get a bit more time in next time PTR rolls around, but this is going to be my kind of review and thoughts. So we'll kick things off with some questions that I've been asked on a lot of comments on videos, talk through the season theme, some of the mechanics, how I found everything to play. Then what we'll do is have a look at the leaderboards, a little bit of a leaderboard review. 3, give my rough thoughts on where the season is going to be in terms of casual play, farming, group meta, whether it'll be popular. So I will timestamp everything, so if the leaderboard stuff doesn't interest you, or the questions don't interest you, or whatever, you can jump around the video. Right, so let's start off. The season theme, Soul Shards. This is an absolute 10 out of 10 banger of a season theme. Obviously, we're coming off the back of Season 29, which didn't really have a season theme, so it's really nice to get these back. These add so much power. They can be a little frustrating, though, because in my 20-22 hours of playtime, don't forget, I've got the advantage of the PTR vendor. I can grab gear pretty easily, so I have been able to explore 3 classes, 3 builds fairly fully, so I'm not saying you'll be able to make this amount of progress, but I've opened up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, let's say 25 soul shards. I've found enough Hellforge Embers, which are these things here, to open up 25. Now, it took ages to get the Remnant of Pain I wanted. It took ages to get the Sliver of Terror I wanted. The Essence of Anguish popped out okay after a couple. So there is a lot of RNG involved in these things. Yeah, every time you upgrade one of them, it goes to rank 1. You get a set thing, it's always the same at rank 1. The base effect is always the same. Rank 1 is always the same. Rank 2 has got a roll of about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 things. It's about 1 in 6 chance possibly to get what you want. Maybe 2 of the options might be applicable to your build, like let's say lightning and elite damage, so either one of those. So it might be like a 2 out of 7-ish kind of roll on that. And then each gem has got 3 final forms, so when you fully rank up and you save up 3 embers, it's a 1 in 3 lucky dip as to whether you're going to get the ultimate power you want. So you might want what we've got here, which is that the more skills on cooldown, we get lightning and fire damage, but you might end up with the ring power. I'll make a separate video going through all of the soul shards and what they do before launch. But what I'm getting at is it does take quite a bit of time to get these Hellforge Embers. I've blasted quite a lot of speed content. I've done no pushing at all on PTR, and I've only opened up 25. Now that might not sound like a lot, or it might sound like a lot rather, but bearing in mind that like 2/3 of them are pretty much automatically in the bin and useless, and you can't, maybe I just got poor RNG, but I do remember when Season 25 came around that they were a little bit frustrating to put together. On the plus side, we do have the fact that they give just incredible power. So I think Crusader, DH, Monk, all are going to be speeding 120 to 130 solo pretty comfortably, maybe a little bit further. I did not play any Wizard, I did not play any Witch Doctor, I did not play any Barbarian. So yeah, we'll have to sort of see where that is. I've left a class out there. I did try a little bit of Necro, but it seemed quite weak, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, the speeds are going to be pretty good, I think. Now, group meta wise, that might well be double Crusader, it might well be double Demon Hunter, but who knows. So some questions that I've had about the season. Number 1, is the Paragon cap coming back? No, absolutely not. Paragon, I've ended up earning 1300, mid 1300s. Paragon will be crazy for people who stick with the season long term, because the solo power of push builds is going to be very, very, very big. We're going to be time attacking 150, I think, pretty soon into the season. Question 2, has the Alter of Rites returned? Yes. Has it been nerfed? Yes. Is it worthwhile doing? I still think yes. Most of the nodes have been nerfed. Anything that added actual damage, anything that added toughness has been nerfed. But the quality of life things are still here, like gain immunity to crowd control effects for Necro, really nice. Double primals when you get the full thing unlocked, really nice. Double legendary chance from Kadala, really nice. Resource on crit, really nice. Double DBs, extra progress orbs, pets picking stuff up, is all really nice. It's just the damage side of things. Now, with that said, obviously in Season 28, one of the tactics for leveling was to save your Challenge Rift bag so that you didn't get stuck like midway down the altar. I think that's a lot less viable this season for 30, because simply you can unlock, well, it's about half of it or whatever until you get stuck on the Challenge Rift, but the extra power that comes after it is not massive because of these things are all now like 5% damage, 5% elemental damage, 5% damage reduction. I don't see it being an absolute build killer by not getting this finished in the opening weekend. So I think if you want to be casual, you can certainly take your Challenge Rift bag and you can open up the altar up until you can open it up until you need a Challenge Rift baggie, and then you come on Monday and redo another Challenge Rift. So you have to do 2 at the start of the season instead of 1. I don't see that as a big deal. That said, of course, we still have the items have no level requirement as the second node, so you can unlock this. And there is actually a pretty good trick that you can do, which I will be putting in the leveling video, but just for those who are here now. At level 1, soul shards can drop, so you can just farm bosses repeatedly. You can get yourself a shard like this, super easy, and then you just basically salvage it, and then it'll drop you out some gems. Now, the requirement on the altar is a flawless diamond or higher. So 1 in 5 of you is going to get really lucky, 20%, and you're going to get Imperial diamonds. In which case you put 1 aside for unlocking the altar, and the other 2 you come and sell to the vendor. So you sell the other 2, or if, let's say, I got a ruby, I'd keep a ruby, 1 of them personally, just for my gem for the XP. Sell it to the vendor because they've actually got like quite a high sell value, like 30 grand. You then run over to Hadrig, you train him up as far as the gold allows. Then you can craft yourself like a level 40 weapon, which you'll be able to use at like, you're probably like level 5 at this point, and obviously that'll completely crush content. And you just, as you get gold, or you go back and farm some more soul shards, you just repeat that process and you get really strong character very quickly. So saving the Challenge Rift baggie can certainly be done. The soul shards are target farmable by the bosses, so you can just come and realistically do any of them to get soul shard. Zoltan Cool is probably the easiest, he's right next to the waypoint, so leveling is going to be interesting. I'm kind of flip-flopping about whether to save my bag or not. I can see an upside to it, and I can also see a downside to it, so I'll make that decision a little bit later. One thing about the altar on PTR, I haven't bothered to get Staff of Herding. I just couldn't be arsed doing this on PTR. It takes several hours, and given I've only had about 3 hours a day-ish to pump into the PTR, it didn't seem like a particularly good use of my time. So it just, that is what it is. So that's the soul shard covered. Paragon cap is done. On the leaderboards, we do have a return of SSF mode, so that is another question. Is SSF returning? Yes, most definitely is. SSF Hardcore is returning, so that is the season. Soul shards, they're quite easy to guess. There are some cool things you can do with them. A level 3 soul shard, incidentally, is the same as 125 augment gem if you slap it on some gear. If you salvage them, you can get gems, so we've got like a lot less gem pressure next season because you're going to end up with absolutely hundreds of these soul shards. They do drop natively in the game, with enough regularity for me to have saved up all these. I didn't really do much in terms of boss farming to get this. This is just what dropped, and I've salvaged a bunch as well. So your limiting factor is going to be embers. You're going to have to crunch GR150 very, very fast, or something you can crunch in like a minute to get as many Hellfire embers as you want. Once you've fully explored your build, then I still think they're useful to go for because they do work out to be the 125 augments. So yeah, that's kind of where that is. What else have people asked? The Visions of Enmity is back in. It's not a particularly amazing way to get the soul shards or the embers, but obviously it's something you can run through quite fast, and it does offer items. So if, let's say, you're just on a quest for these types of things, you can just run through and ignore everything else if you wanted. I've got a little bit of OCD, ADD, and I just have to pick almost everything up that I see, so that to me wasn't a particularly great strategy, albeit you can do it. That will provide you with plenty of bounty mats, and because this season has no Paragon cap, we're going to have a lot of Forgotten Souls because we're running a lot of GRs. So yeah, I think Visions of Enmity is probably a good addition to the game. It means that as the player base dwindles over time, people will be able to get bounty materials without having to do the drudgery of trying to find a group to do a public set of bounties. Of course, you're going to have to do some at the start of the season. I'd highly recommend getting a bunch done at the start of the season because you're going to need some rogues, you're going to need Avarice Band potentially, you might need illusory boots, basically any item that comes only from the bounty chests. You don't want to get a little bit further into the season when the player base has dwindled and disappeared and needs something, but you know, obviously that's kind of up to you. So I guess that segues us nicely to the leaderboards. It is going to be 150 galore and super crazy mode. Barb is going to get 150 on, I think, every single set. So there's 150 done in 6 minutes, which is on Raycor. If we look at Might of the Earth, that also has cleared 150. This has been buffed for the season. Leapquake, I was hoping to try it, but I did not get a chance. Wrath of the Waste to 150 in 10 minutes with only 1300 Paragon. IK is only at 130, but I just think that's because nobody's really played it. Like if we go over to the solo season, IK, we've got a 140 on there. So IK probably will still get to 150, I think. And again, funnily enough, Savage is 1400, 139 here. But if you go onto the solo season, somebody's bashed a 150 in 7 minutes 45 on the SSF PTR. Pretty impressive. So the only question mark I think is probably the IK one. The no 6-piece has also done 150. So Barb, if you play Barb, everything's going to be really strong next season. You know, 150s across the board. Whirlwind looks pretty tasty for speeds. Let's just see if we can find a particularly fast clear on that. So 112 in 4 minutes. Under 800 Paragon, you know, it does show the power. It's possibly not getting up there with the other builds that I think are really strong, such as the Gears of Dreadlands Demon Hunter, Inner Monk, and the Fist of Heaven's Crusader, but that's still pretty fast. 110 here in like 4 minutes. Again, like such low Paragon. Barb should be solo speeding. 120. These actually, funnily enough, were still on the seasonal board for SSF rather than on the non ones. Let's just have a little look and see if we can spot anybody doing like 120 really fast. Not quite, but there's a 119 in 5 minutes. Again, 900 Paragon, no Ingerm. I know you can take Ingerm to be very fast, I think, on this build. So look, that's something I'm going to hopefully get to on the course of the season. But Barb, really strong, 150s, absolutely galore. Crusader, we've got 150 on a Khan. This is the starting set for the Barb. I should have said the Barb Crusader. I should have said the starting set for the Barb is Raycor. So we've got 150 viable sets on offer, which is nice. Thorns, somebody has very bravely done a 139 with like 1100 Paragon. So again, look, I think Invoker probably gets to 150 on the season. Let's just have a little look. No one's done it on the SSF. Roland's been buffed. It's lame still. No one's played it. Might not get to 150, although we do have a 139 here on the SSF board. Again, 1100 Paragon. So you pile, you know, another 3k Paragon on. It's possible to do it, I think. Seeker of the Light. Not even 10 people have done that. That's quite funny. Hammers is never popular. This might be one of the ones that struggles for the 150. We'll have to sort of see where it is. Aegis of Valor getting close at 142. Again, only the 1300 Paragon doing the Shield Fury build. I thought the Fist of the Heavens might actually have come a little bit closer than it has. 141. Let's just check the solo board for that. Yep, there we go. 149 on the Fist of Heaven. So look, again, some more Paragon here. You're definitely getting 150 cleared on Aegis of Valor. And then the no 6-piece bonus. 2000 on Shield, Captain America Shield build. So look, again, I suspect that wasn't massively, like, obviously for me 1800 Paragon is high, but for where we get to at the end of the season, somebody will definitely blast through that. DH again is a bunch of absolute 150 blasts. We've got the Natalia's doing a 150 in 6 minutes. I mean, yikes. Marauder is not looking like it's received the nerf particularly well. 142, again 1300 gone, so you dump a load more Paragon on. 150 and 150 augments, that will get there, no problem. Shadows crushed 150, 1600 Paragon in 13 minutes, so that is pretty nice. UE at 148, it's very close. You add another 1500 Paragon on here, it gets there, no problemo. So that's another 150 done. Natalia's we've already covered. Gears of Dreadlands might struggle, but still 145 with 1600 Paragon. So same point as before, double the Paragon. You'll likely guess up to the 150 mark. Yeah, 145 on both the Season and the SSF board. Legacy of Dreams / no 6-piece. This might be a bit harder. No one's worked on this as far as I can tell. We've got a glitched out 6-piece Gears of Dreadlands here done in hundreds. Nobody's tried that, so that's one I can't answer for you. Monk 150 on Uliana Explosive Palm. So been a while since we've had Exploding Palm, but it has cleared 150 in 11 minutes, so that's kind of fun. We've got Legacy of Dreams or Legacy of Nightmares / no 6-pieces cleared 150. Raiment of Thousand Storms, some poor misguided person decided to play this to 130. This I don't see getting to 150 unless you have an obscene amount of Paragon, because it is pretty weak still even after the buff. No one has played Samwuku. The number one Samwuku clear for PTR is 95, which is really sad. So again, that might struggle, but it might just be that nobody's bothered playing with it. Inners is at 140. Again, at 1100 Paragon. You add way more Paragon, and I think you're going to get your extra 10 levels there. No one has touched it on SSF. POJ, look, under 1000 and 136. Again, same. I'm going to sound like a broken record. You slap the Paragon on this. You slap the augments, the 150s, all that jazz. And yeah, I'm pretty sure someone's going to clear 150 with it. Someone's got 140 on the SSF board, 1800. So maybe it'll struggle. Maybe one of the latter ones to go, but I still think it will get there. So 150s for Monk. Necro, 150 in 3 minutes. Nice one. Rathma. So this is Rathma time attack. It's going to be pretty strong with the soul shards, as we can see. 2.5 Paragon, 2.5k Paragon is obviously a lot, but then 150 in 3 minutes is pretty fast, so you will rocket up the XP. Tragul's has been hit by the nerf hammer. I don't think anyone's really pressed it particularly hard. Again, I think there's a chance that it might get 150. Sorry, we were on the SSF. My god, the SSF clear on Rathma was 3 minutes. That's really funny. Trags on the actual season, somebody has done 150, so there you go, no problem. How much Paragon was it? 1.3k, so pretty low still. We've got Inarius 150, 7 minutes. Again, Blood Nova is just so strong regardless of whatever you put it with. 1200 Paragon to get that busted out. Then Pestilence has been a bit of a miss. I mean, 134 in 6 minutes is fast. One of the slight issues with the build is if you're not making kills, it does kind of struggle and fall apart. But look, I'd say it's still one of the weaker things in the game, even after the buff that we've had for it. So we've basically got kind of almost doubled up in terms of damage. I still think it's pretty weak. And even with the soul shards, again, it would be one of the last ones to pop 150, but I still think come the end of the season it will be done. Bone Spear, caught a nerf, but it's still done a 150 with 1300 Paragon. you know, obviously it's pretty crazy. Now, a lot of these builds are obviously using the mechanic, I should have said, the Ring of Fire. So this is like where you group up some enemies, you kill them, and then use the Ring of Fire when you get to 100 kills, and it melts the screen, and then that resets the 100 kills again, and then you melt the screen again. So there is obviously some season theme mechanic shenanigans, but basically what we're getting at is it's going to be 150s across the board. Even this, the LOD Death Nova, it'll get there. 100% it'll get there by the time people bother to actually push it. Again, it might be one of the latter ones to go. Witch Doctor 150 in 8 minutes on the zombie build, which is pretty funny. So again, yeah, devastating Ring of Fire. So people are fishing for maps, obviously looking for those little tiny enemies. You've only got to kill a few to get going, get your ocular circle going, and then get you 100 kills, and then trying to do the season mechanic over and over. What have we got for Jade? Jade is at 142. This is pretty juiced out, 2.4k, so that's going to be on the touch and go side. Again, somebody probably will do it. If you know, gun to my head, I think someone will. Zuni, no one's bothered with it, so really hard to judge. You can't really judge this 900 Paragon character. 118 is not great. 100 on the SSF board. It did get a nerf, so maybe it's not possible, or maybe it's just a complete lack of players. Arakir also got nerfed, so again, not looking amazing. 1000 Paragon, so again, really hard to judge. It's only 132, but again, if you really press this, it probably will get there across the season. And a 140 on the SSF. Again, at only 1100 Paragon, so add 4000 more Paragon points onto that, and you probably get there. Wizard has got 150 done in 5 minutes. This is on the SSF board. Talrasha, even though it's been nerfed, when you get up to the super crazy Paragons, and you can still do it. Again, devastating Ring of Fire build. You're going to see a lot of this on the push stuff. You're just going to see devastating Ring of Fire in like every single build pretty much. Legacy of Dreams Wizard holds the 150 in 7.5 minutes on the regular board. Firebirds has done a 150 in under 12 minutes. Hey look, devastating Ring of Fire, isn't that a shock? Yeah, Veers, nobody's touched. Veers is in the absolute dirt. This, I wouldn't really know. I wouldn't really know what's going to happen with Veers. There might be something somebody can fix, some big brain player can figure out, but again, I probably won't be touching it. DMO, which is the starting set, 150 done, so that's nice. 2k Paragon. Not using the Ring of Fire build, so that's quite interesting. So that obviously indicates that this does have quite a big punch to it, because we can get the 150 done without doing season theme cheese. And just a few more sets to go. Tals we've done. Typhon's Veil Hydra, 150 cleared, and it's not using season theme mechanic cheese. So again, 2.5k Paragon-ish, perfect everything-ish. 150 gems, but not 150 augments. So look, Typhons is going to do it. So really, whatever you play next season, any of the classes, almost every single build will get to 150. So yeah, it's going to be pretty strong. As I say, in terms of speed, you can probably pretty much pick anything and be largely speaking okay, but I do think the Monk is going to be a real popular one, because the Inners is the starting set. You know, building your way up to 120, 125, 130 speeds is going to be fun. Same for the Crusader. You know, I thought it was a bit stronger than the Monk, and then Demon Hunter again I thought was stronger still. So I still think Gears of Dreadlands is your best bang for buck speed build in the game. Crusader, in my opinion, is more fun to play, and Inner Monk is a starting set. So they're the kind of three things that I'm thinking of. In terms of grouping, I've done no grouping at all on PTR. I suspect for the opening week, maybe 2 weeks of the season, it depends what's happening in the ARPG content space as to what's coming out for like Diablo 4 or Path of Exile or Last Epoch or whatever. But if the game has a healthy player base, then I think you will be crushing 130 speeds pretty quickly, whether that's on Crusader or Demon Hunter. I don't think many people will. mean, you can still use it in a monk. You'll be able to bring anything, I think, and be fine. But I think the meta will probably be Crusader, just because it's got really big AoE clear and it looks kind of fun. So we'll see. Plus, there's loads of these gems that do support specific stuff. So, you know, ZDHs, Z-Barbs, Z-Necros, whatever, with all the Soul Shard juice is going to be pretty impactful. So overall, I think Season 30 is going to be brilliant. I'm really excited for it. I think the Soul Shards offer us a nice season theme that we have to kind of grind away at. There's uses for them even after you've found them all. Visions of Enmity's back, the Altar's back. You've got to do your Staff of Herding, which is annoying, but that aside, it should be plain sailing. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for staying till the end. If you did, thumbs up brightens my day, and I'll be back with another video soon. Take it easy, guys. Peace.